What's stopping a billionaire from buying their little kid a guaranteed start into one of these teams? I mean, that did happen with IG. That literally happened with IG. IG had their IG's incredibly wealthy owner, or basically, or like the owner's father funded the ownership of that one. The old ones. Now I think that the owners have been changed now, and the owner got to come in and play a game, won the game as well. F1 is also franchising, right? Yes, it is. It is. UEFA Champions League twice. Yeah. I am Jose Mourinho. I coach the best club in the world. Exactly. That's the way. There's also a sort of franchising within the Premiership. Exactly. Because even if you go down to Div 2, you are still within the system. You're just in a lower division. But it is still the same system. And they're still franchising effectively for Div 2. For the championship. That's the one. Championship. Did LR choose red side? I'm assuming they did. They lost game 2, so they must have chosen red side. They are a red side enjoyers. I wonder why Veli doesn't play Kiana. It's not his wheelhouse. He is an AD skirmisher. And yes, Kiana is strictly that, but she's much more an assassin, Ben, in the way of, say, a Neferi, or even Neferi's a bit more fightery, right? But she's not a fighter so much as an assassin. It's a very different playstyle. It's more Arzix, it's more Zed. Neferi to an extent, right? And she's a very hard champion. She's very complex. And it's not really what Veli's been doing. He's been more on the Wukong, the Shinsao, the Viego side of things, you know? Anyway, I hope people are enjoying the conversation. I hope it's relatively nuanced and we're not like being too one-sided. But I'm pushing back a little bit to say it's just a good thing, basically. Because it's a bit more complicated. Though, again, it could still be a great time. We'll wait and see. There's the Gragas for Baus. Should be scared. And an early Lucian. Now, Nemesis was a Lucian player back in it. Pretty sure. I don't think we'll see mid lane Lucian. It's been a long time. Are we a Feliosing this? But Velia plays Zed, I think. There you go. Well, in that case, again, Kiana's just a very different champion. She's just a very, like, you have to be really good at Kiana. So my favorite football club, I'm an Arsenal supporter. I was a Man U supporter as a kid. Really enjoyed watching the likes of the Van Nistelrooy, Scholes, Rooney kind of team, which was really awesome to watch. It was just great football. Beckham and Giggs on the wings. But these days, Arsenal, it's a family connection if nothing else. If you look, they've changed the people on the outside, but for a long time, Eddie Hapgood was an ex-captain of Arsenal, was on the outside of the Emirates Stadium. That's my ancestor. And my great uncle used to be the captain of Arsenal England. And there's the Nami. Yamada initialized casting on Arsenal glazing session. It's true. Don Jake's a big Arsenal fan as well. I will make it happen. So it's actually interesting to hear multiple opinions about this. Yeah, again, what I would say is I don't think we have all the details yet. We don't know where it's going to march out. And a lot of this is also supposition, right? We don't know where a lot of this is going to go. Aphelios, Lulu, Lucian, Nami. We're back in 2023, by the way, guys. This should be a fun bot lane matchup. Okay, this is going to be all about bot lane. The last time Misa did this, though, LR punished pretty hard, right? Because they went for the Caitlyn Karma and mashed it. Maokai angle. Not awful for Velia, actually. I suspect we might see something a bit more fightery. They're getting rid of the AD jungle assassins. If this might end up being a Neferi ban as well, because LR just hate playing against these if they go well. Because the thing is, it's snowball jungle carry. Not skirmisher, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you can carry on a Xin Zhao. Yes, you can carry on a Wukong. But it's a very different style of carry, right? It's not quite the same as, and now I'm 5,000 gold ahead. Would it be tilted if LR loses now? We'll see. Nocturne. Yeah, it's a close specialty. It's a very different champion. Plays the game very differently. I can see the ban option. Zillion against Nemesis can be really annoying into close range AD carries. Very annoying with the Lucian. It's a double enchanter. And they have done that before for Crowny. They don't have the Galio. They can't look for that. Bundle away from Velia. Yep, good into the Aphelios, especially without the Thresh. We couldn't get over the pillar. I think you could Maokai Sejuani if you want to go that route. Skarner is down, right? Yes, it is. Neferi's fine here for Velia. Wonder whether we might see that. Not bad with the Nami throwing tidal waves over. Having a snowball jungler against you when you have a Baus with a certain passion for overextending is never a good thing. Exactly. Both times that they've lost to the Kiana, Baus has given up early goal to the Kiana, who's then gotten ahead of curve, and then Velia just doesn't get to play the game post a certain point. Like, that is exactly, honestly, the way to beat Baus is to have a jungler that benefits from Baus dying a lot, not just a top laner. Because then that lead goes elsewhere on the map. Because then when LR are trying to leave Baus alone to do his silliness, if that lead goes elsewhere on the map, it's a problem. I said about Kha'Zix, it's a very squishy comp. It was not great fun into the Gragas, but everyone else has a horrible time. And actually, Neferi can struggle a bit as well. I think Poppy's a safer choice, and he got banned last game. Boring, but good. It's a good skirmisher. Messes with Neferi, messes with Lucian, messes with Gragas. Kha'Zix would have been fun. It would have been a squishy comp. I think it would have been very risky. You did have a Lulu behind you, good target access. It's sort of like, I mean, fairness, I think Neferi does what Kha'Zix does, but better. Not gonna lie. In a lot of ways. But yeah, Steph Barrel, I'm not sure we had that conversation very briefly in game, but glad you called it out again, because you're absolutely right. It is one of the better ways I feel to punish Baus is via carry jungles. Like, I do wonder whether people start doing things like AP junglers that get a lot of value out of it, or hell, Graves, if you're feeling really, really frisky, or a Kindred, something that can really wrestle control of the game and be the carry. I think Kiana is the best option for that in the jungle right now. Neferi's not bad either. So I can see why they took that away. What do I think of Cassiopeia? Cassiopeia into Ryze, individually a good matchup. We were talking about that earlier. Can potentially be at risk here. If you lose Flash into Ryze, Poppy, Cassandra, can be pretty tough. I don't know how easy it is going to be for you to follow the plays of the Neferi and the Gragas. It's Nemesis. I think it's much more for lane matchup than necessarily for combos. I might be missing a little bit here. You can theoretically punish people with your Miasma. Be a bit annoying for the Poppy, I guess, but you're not actually that dash heavy this game, with the Cassandra notable exception. Kiana was picked and won again. Mashed him. Closer did unspeakable things. Why don't we have the World Tournament with the best teams of each region? We do. That's what Worlds is. If you're meaning for countries, theoretically we are getting that next year with the Esports Nations Cup. But that is, again, it's via the sort of like the ESL, EFG, Saudi stuff, right? It's the same kind of branding and TO as EWC. If you're talking about that one where it's kind of country based, and possible LR looking to get down towards bot side. Try and potentially manage this Aphelios Lulu, which could theoretically have quite an aggressive early lane. Double enchant to bot side. Welcome back to 2023, folks. I hope you didn't miss it. Hope you missed it, rather. It's probably the better way of putting it. Phase Rush for Poppy and for Ryze. Same for the Gragas. Conquer on cast, no surprise there. Fleet for Aphelios, no surprise there. PTA for the Lucian over an Electrocute or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little bit more usual for you guys to do that one anyway. And we've lost the Electrocute Lucian just a touch of recent. I mean, teams where... Well, talking about the best teams of each region. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I mean, generally speaking, people qualify anyway by, like, winning their regions. Which often involves, as with most sports, some good players demand bigger prize pools, means teams that can afford to pay them. Could Diana be a good pick in that angle? She has been buffed, as have a lot of AP junglers, because we've not seen a lot of them right now. So maybe, but part of the issue is, like, there's not very many good AD mid laners. Not. So, what do you run mid? Dace, maybe. Kiana, not Kiana, Yone is off meta, but he's kind of there a little bit. Tristana very occasionally. You don't really have a lot of good AD options mid. Do you then run? Just have, well, that's what League of Their Own is going to be partly, isn't it? We're going to get T1 versus LR. We'll get a little bit of that then. Best of EMEA versus best of whatever other regions have. I mean, we kind of already have that. I mean, if you want to just get, like, all-star teams, we did used to have all-stars, which they tried to do seriously for a bit, but it just didn't have the viewership interest. There's Asia Games, which does that, to be fair. Asia Games does it. But again, that's mostly on a country-by-country basis, though in fairness, the way the LCK is, it is the Korean league, right? So it's a national league in its own right? Whereas EMEA is a bit more nuanced. In fact, it's a lot of regions in there. Velia's bot side very early. Red buff, invade. Poppy's now going to realize that weird things are happening. Tungi will burn the barrier, but it's not going to lose too much more. What does that lead to? Just a slower clear, I guess. Earns Crowny and Reckless a bit of shove, which can be a big deal. Wei Xiao Shy versus Mad Life Double Lift back in the day. I miss Wei Xiao. I mean, he was the Ezreal GOAT, right? Like, he was arguably the best AD carry to have ever done it. The gap between Wei Xiao and every other AD carry in Season 2 was beyond belief. Very rarely have we seen such an individual role gap. For those who weren't around in Season 2, Wei Xiao was the guy. He was recently playing Supervive, by the way. He did a Supervive tournament, which was super awesome to cover. Enjoyed watching him. We have Mad Life and Porn and Dandy and Prey and stuff in there as well. Pretty wild tournament in the grand scheme of things. Does Ryze win another game against a cast like Verdun did against May? Yeah, we'll see. Because again, the Cassiopeia should be picked into the Ryze because you can punish him for being in range of you. And you kind of like, yeah, I threaten you a lot. Noxious. I can get my Noxious Blast down into my Twin Fangs. I will win those DPS checks with you. TSM Mad Life and TSM Double Lift in 2016. That would have been a different world, wouldn't it? Man, I can't believe Mad Life wasted some of the prime years of his career, or at least the tail end of it while he was still good, with bloody Space Prison. Space Prison! Oh, CJ made me cry a bit in the end of days. All stars because of good one-man Xpeke. Esports hasn't been the same since he retired. Been a very big change in the guard, hasn't it? With when we lost the original holy trinity of Alexich, Xpeke, and Froggen. Nice first blood, redive, and Poppy's not there. LR know where their bread is buttered. Get this bot lane ahead. And in fairness, LR of... Yeah, exactly. Froggen, Xpeke, Alexich. Indeed. But yeah, LR know where their bread is buttered. Get this bot lane rolling. It's true. It's always been one of the major win conditions. Do Crowny and Reckless. Have good gold leads from laning well. Life is okay. Nemesis will win his lane passively. Yeah, top side can sometimes be a bit messy, but hey, who cares? Have we gotten Crowny and Reckless through lane? Life is good. I think that's the correct call here. Space high ceiling was so low. Yeah, it was pretty rough. Ooh, hang on. Good petrifying gaze. Ormi could be in a lot of danger here. Has to rune present flash out. Nicely done. Hit the level 6, get the petrifying gaze, and there's that individual matchup doing well. This is the time we've not seen jungle support intervention in mid, so Cassiopeia has been able to leverage the laning advantage. Closer back in Europe is awesome to see. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, right? I mean, I feel a little bit bad for GX. He's no longer playing for GX, because obviously he was a big part of their they were going to go with Closer and Jackies. Really exciting roster, and obviously he decided to leave that org for... I'm not sure he was ever completely upfront about the... Completely fine, so I don't want to speculate too much. But either way, did leave, went back to Turkey. Probably a bit homesick as well. You know, he's Turkish, so got the opportunity to leave Berlin, which is a very peculiar city in a lot of ways. And if you don't vibe with it, I can see why it could be quite tricky. Why did LR choose red side? Because they've got players that really value counterpick. And they wanted the opportunity to change up draft a little bit. They are one of the better red side drafting teams. Though I will say again, I have my issues with the Zaya draft. They still managed to make it work. The Trinity was... What am I missing here? What's the rest of that conversation? Right, see back. First double FBO and sneaking NA. Yeah. Double Lift got banned basically for using bot accounts that were somewhat botted to their level. And so basically he was just told, like basically it was a slap on the wrist warning. Ooh, good kill there onto Call Me. Nice Keeper's Verdict away as well, but didn't change anything. The Petrifying Gaze is still landed. And basically the way that, like, I know Drew Levin on Twitter was basically talking about it, saying, look, first ban is a light one, it's a 3-day ban, then it's 14 days, then it's like a month, then it's permanent. So it's like scaling stuff on it. And basically it's saying they are going to apply it equally, and will kind of force content creators to be a lot more upfront about it, basically. Deal with some of the smurfing issue, because I think Riot have decided that, like, they want to manage this a bit better and try and improve the solo queue environment somewhat. I don't think it's necessarily a bad deal. Yeah, so I think the thing is you can, is the answer, Benix. I think that's probably, you can ask for accounts, I think. I think part of the issue basically is that, like, the thing is those accounts then come in at X elo. I think they come at, like, Diamond to Master elo. And it's harder to get highlight reels at higher elo. Is the honest answer. And there's good viewers in doing a climb from very low elo to high elo. Doing, like, you know, bronze to challenger, or iron to challenger, right? Was a big thing. How long would it take you to do it? And doing it for, like, diamond to challenger isn't quite as tough. In comes the Moonlight Vigil. Nice kill. Bot side, though. Mahile's in danger himself. Can still go all out. And the Pathmaker is decent enough. Goes looking for some options. Will likely die here. I'm not sure that flash was ever going to work. Bit bold from Mahile to try and play that one out. As the Hound's Pursuit comes on through and gets the kill. Yeah. He said they wouldn't give him another, but some streamers have got more accounts than he has, so I don't know if his complaint is valid. I genuinely don't know. Their answer is that, like, it might not be consistent. That's sometimes the thing with Riot, or it might have changed. Some accounts might be older. It might be how many accounts can you get within a certain time frame. The rules might have changed. It could be straight up misinformation. Always the thing. Oh, man. I think I have to order some food. I mean, just... Actually... Oh... I think it might be the bath, actually. Never mind. Cool. Stun to the wall. Baus. Flash away. Graviton binding Eclipse. Teleports unleashed. But unfortunately, Baus has been unleashed into an early grave. Who got the kill? Actually, I didn't see. I think it will have been... Closer. Okay. Not the end of the world. Not the best, though. That would have been really good if it had gone to the Aphelios. I think you really want to get as much gold on them as you can. Yes, advanced elimination is always best of 3 at the minute for Swiss stage. Yeah, exactly. And basically just showing that they're treating people equally, which is important. As far as the account thing goes. And I think Double Lift is kind of okay. So yeah, fair play. He was pretty upfront saying, yeah, that's reasonable. I take it. Good kill there from Crowning Reckless. Lucian Nami doing the Lucian Nami things. Hound's Pursuit. Nice steadfast presence. Could potentially get the shove into the wall. Moonlight Vigil's available. Won't burn it. Healing now. Concentrating out with Bounce in the river. Doesn't lead to all that much. I think this is feeling like a pretty good game for Lost Ratones at this point. This Lucian is very ahead of curve. The Neferi's in a really scary spot. I would have preferred Shojin in this game, not Eclipse. But hey, Eclipse gives you the shield. It's a good one item spike. It's not the end of the world. I just think in general Eclipse is a bit over-nerfed to be a good item on Neferi these days. The shields can be quite valuable when you are a little shy on frontline, so I can see what the decision-making is. Have a nice day. That's fair. Oh, of course. Thanks for coming and hang around. Really do appreciate it, and I hope the conversation was fun. Feel free to come tune in on other streams. In goes Velia, eviscerating forwards, decent shields. Just finishing game 2. Please tell me the game 3 you actually focus on the game instead of the winter tournament. No, we're focusing on the games. Good grief, John. Gotta skip to work. Enjoy. So I'm actually not sure when the protections for... I think they end after Swiss stage. I don't know whether they apply for playoffs or not. I actually don't know. So where are we at now? Couple minutes till Herald. Dragons in 1 second. Call me. We'll get that turret plate. Tungi. Ooh, that's a nasty chunk. Yep. Imperial Mandate's been completed, so it has. Yeah, that'll do it. Gonna jump on a Baus. I don't think that leads to all that much. And they look for the turret, maybe. But I think it's giving a lot of space to Neferi and the Lucian army in mid. You can't play Bastard. No, you can't. So I think in Swiss stage, you're still protected. Yeah, I think it changes for play. I think you lose protection of playoffs. I think. In Swiss stage, you can't play the same team twice. I'm pretty sure. Velia, I think is going to be okay getting out here. Will be. Nemesis. Oh dear, nearly lost that 1v1. Is Closer want to flash for this? I think he might. There's no option anymore. Looking for the until first strike will force Velia to call the pack. Still goes down. At least Misa got grubs. They did. And they get that kill onto Nemesis, which is pretty valuable. Batu not going to look too aggressively here. On top of the mid lane line bush. Oh. Play for if they win, since the rest of them need to pass or fail. If they win, are they through? Yeah, so if basically whoever wins this next game is through to playoffs. Otherwise, they have to play again tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, I think. Yeah, it will be tomorrow they'll have to play, thinking about it. So winning here would be a really nice option. It also gives you a better draw for playoffs, I believe. Around 16. Solid position for LR right now. They've gotten the feats of strength. They've gotten the early snowball. Do need to convert it a bit better. A little unfortunate for Nemesis giving up that kill. And again, the Cassante could end up being a bit of a problem. I think the Force of Nature is actually very astute into a Cassiopeia and a Gragas, who often want to go through very similar rotations. Cassiopeia in particular hates it, because obviously it works against repeated spellcast the same ability a lot. I think that's very smart. A little less good into the Gragas, but the Gragas is unlikely to burst you out. Yeah, 2 more days of regular season games, and then we're first stage games, and then we're into playoffs. Well, out comes the culling. Look to come teleporting in. The path, the Petrifying Gaze wasn't the best. Close has been left low. That's still going to be a take. No way! Did Call Me just steal that away? Oh no! And there's a shutdown on the Lucian. Oh, LR. That's such a mess. Nemesis, though, got the Conqueror stacked. Gets pulled back towards the team. Doesn't have the most amount to work with here. As Mihalis jumping on top of that. Force of Nature causing a lot of trouble. Valley tries to go back in. The Interpo strikes. Get the pull back across multiple members. Misa turn it around. And oh no. Flash over the wall from Baus. I don't know whether that actually stops him from dying here. Yeah, I think he's likely going to die. Does he have TP? No, he doesn't. Has no flash. He's about to walk over. Vision here. They'll know where he is. Can charge into the wall. Good chunk onto him. Smite. Hammer shot. Woo! 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 Oh, dear. Close. Okay, Baus gets one of the way out. Can he get over the wall? He can! Let him die. Don't allow him to survive this. This would be silly. does finally fall. At least he gets one on the way out. Still, that is a very unfortunate throw there from Lost Ratones, who give up the Herald and a lot of kills and a lot of shutdowns. Yeah. I wonder whether Nemesis might be given the opportunity to kill that one off and doesn't quite do it. Gragas. At least they got something at the back end of it all. That's ridiculous. Dragonfight still coming out. This will be Soul Point. I think LR need to recover from that one a little bit. Crowny being down Flash and Cleanse, though, means this Lucian is very pickable by... Rise has got Flash in particular, actually. We're about to lose... I think we're going to see the double utility guns here from 2 years old. We'll trade out on the Crescendum here. Okay. I take it back to the slight difference, but there's that Flash forward on the Crowny I told you about. Get the steadfast pass. They blow up the Lucian into the Herald, into the mid lane tier 2. I think LR are in a real trouble here. This is going to be a massive snowball from Misa. Oh dear. What awful Herald fight. Inhibitor turrets under siege. I think Nemesis needs to reset here because they can't hold this. They've got no wave clip. 3 turret shove. My god, and they can turn back for Dragon afterwards. Youch. Should get this turret. Room prisoned underneath it. Nemesis. He's dead. He's dead. Petrifying Gaze comes on down. No Realm Warp, but there's still going to be a bit of speed up here. Noxious Blast comes on down. Nemesis has no boots. Conqueror. Call me wants it. Oh, slow. And a solo kill. Turret for that one. Dragon on the other side. That's still a massive win for Misa as far as I'm concerned. Turkey giving LR trouble as always. Yep, they're a good region. They're a good region for all they're in Pool 2. I think these teams are always in contention for winning the damn league. And Misa are our first seed from TCL. They're a good team. I think Mihile is a terror right now on this Cassante. Jack showing Force of Nature into a Gragas and a Cassiopeia is a real nightmare for him. I was not convinced by the Cassiopeia lock in this draft, and unfortunately, being a little resolved, he was nearly good at that Herald fight. But I think Lucian not having Flash was immediately punished by the Rise flashing on forwards. That might happen. It did. But yeah, and then also looking at the team and I'm going, Rise of Phelios with a Lulu behind them and good front line into a very mid-game spiking team with Neferi, Gragas, Lucian, Nami. Like, you want to be winning now. I do think it gets trickier as this game goes on, especially if Lucian is down summoners. But we shall see. And LR have come back from significantly worse deficits. They've still got decent scaling themselves. It's not like Neferi scales poorly. It's not like Cassiopeia scales poorly. I do just get a little nervous about the hyper carry scaling of the Aphelios here, who is just quietly doing fine. He's $1,000 behind, but that won't mean that much if the game sort of ends up in this situation for much longer. There's the Atakan throw angle still. Always got to keep that in mind. Nemesis is going to be not having very much fun here. Oh, I think Nemesis is dead. He is a dead man. All out available. It might not even be needed. Oh, buffers through the Petrifying Gave with the all out. Yeah. Yeah, and Nemesis just doesn't do damage to Cassante. Flash required, but it's done. And now they'll turn on to Atakan with a man advantage. TP's available. And someone has to go deal with Cassante. Where's the show? We got Showmaker as a... Is that the one that does it? There we go. Ooh, Atakan culling onto Closer, but there's the heal of the redemption. Lulu keeps everyone alive, looking to turn forwards. Go! No, they knocked the Fury away. That's Atakan. Very good Closer. Oh. Wow. Well, there's Atakan and another kill for this Cassandra. And they can roam up behind Baus, potentially get him here. There's a cask available. He needs to get a good cask, though. Flash stunned to the wall. Means he doesn't get actually the escape he needs. Rune Prison came on down regardless. Wild Growth knock up. Flash. Body slam away. Does survive, but it costs him the extra flash. What are we getting on the elsewhere on the map? Not a lot. Lucian's taking red. Neferi will steal a few camps, but I don't think Closer cares that much. Reckless is left alone in mid lane, not doing all that much. Yeesh. I think Lost Ratones might be losing another series here. Nemesis having a pretty terrible series, low-key. Yeah, honestly, had a really good Hui game. The Hui was fantastic. But last game, poor. The Galio didn't really get a lot of value. Struggled against the Kiana in particular. Rough time in lane with the flash away from the Orianna. This game has just not been great, is the honest answer. I wasn't sure about the Cassiopeia in this draft. Yes, individually good matchup of the Rise. But I did get a little bit nervous about what value you're having in terms of team composition. Very pick-heavy comp. And the Cassiopeia isn't necessarily that. You can kind of punish the Poppy and the Cassandra, people stepping forwards into you. And the Rise, again, can still struggle with that. But I do think it's still a little bit of a disconnect. And I think the Cassiopeia can potentially be left out of some of the proactive plays that Lost Returns are making. Yeah, exactly. The Hui was genuinely great. And again, it's like, it's not bad into Misa going forwards. Again, the Rise, the Poppy, even the Aphelios can be quite short range. Cassante's melee as well. Like, you've got positions and good spots there where you can theoretically get a lot of value from people walking into your Petrifying Gaze range. That said, you're not getting that much value out of Miasma. Not really. Poppy, that's about it. Cassante, to be fair, does get stifled by it somewhat. But again, not exactly a team full of dashes. Certainly not in your individual matchup there. But again, you're reliant on people coming into your range. And if you're all going forwards with Neferi, with Lucian Nami, with Gragas going forwards, it's not quite the same. It's not completely off theme. Nice pickup there, though. That went well. That was nice, actually. Good pickup, and that's a big amount of gold going back towards the right. Not the Cassiopeia that needed it. Picked up that gold as well. Important. You take that. And again, it's still only 2 dragons to Misa. Still playable here. That kind of thing will matter, because I do think you've got good enough side lane pick here with Cassiopeia and Grags to set up Neferi to blow up the Rise on repeat. Can theoretically do that. That's an option. I think the Cassante is going to be hard at 5, 1, and 3. But the Rise is doable. I'd also keep your eyes on this Aphelios. I think if Aphelios gets to a 3rd item, he's going to be very scary. I think the double crit's already pretty good here. There's not a lot of armor to manage the Aphelios if he gets good burst combos. But it's been a quiet game right now from Tungi, but that's not a bad thing. We've not seen a lot of Lucian Nami play for the last 5 minutes. And again, Lucian Nami is harder to execute as the game goes on. We've seen it work. Pays has done some magic on it. A lot of LPL AD carries have done some good moments on it. Ruler, obviously a monster. You know, you can do it. But I do think Close has been excellent again. Though I think Velia has had a better game here on the Neferi. It's not as devastating as the Kiana getting fed was. Nemesis is trolling no boots. I mean, exactly. Cassiopeia, notorious boot buyer. There's the LDR for Crowny. That's a pretty big deal. Might actually be able to manage the Poppy and the Cassante a bit better. Call me. Should get out here and does. Okay, needed to Realm Warp for it, though. Does it matter? Not really. Baron up, but Atakan's already been taken by Misa. That's not a threat. There's no dragon for 3 minutes. Is what it is. We'll reset and walk back out to Rap. Picks up another NLR, building towards Death Cap. That'll be a break point, which I suspect they will hit before Dragon, actually. May need to get maybe 3 or so waves. We'll have teleport. Yeah, if you can funnel farm into Rise to get towards that Death Cap, that'd be good. But then again, you also want it for the Aphelios heading towards LDR, who's gone Noon Quiver. Not that tanky a team, so you don't actually need the last Whisper in inventory. So yeah, that's fair. Just hopped in to see what teams are looking good. LR are both looking pretty good. Misa having a good game here. It's 1-1. LR had a really good early lead and then fumbled it. An insane 3-turret shove from Misa after a good Herald fight. Managed to invert the goal by about 3,000. We've got our TCL first seed versus NLC first seed. And the EMEA Masters double back-to-back. Back-to-back reigning champs here. Looking to go on the Piper's Roads. Golden Rat. Shopkeeper is very talented. What are you not a fan of here? Oh, I see. Oh, I'm with you now about Galio and Malphite. Yeah, I mean, exactly. They're just like... I think the Shopkeeper's just really good. Is the honest answer. And it's down to pay for the exposure and make giant boots for statues and mountains. So I feel like that is a lot... that is a solid herd of cows required for mountain-sized shoes. And again, that's a question. Does he make them himself? I think he just sells them. Because things like the Blade of the Rune King, like that's definitely not been built by Boris. Good knock up there. Oh dear. Belly survives for a second, has to flash away. And I think, yeah, had to be healed up as well there. Does survive. Gonna heal up off the Krugs. That's a start now on Baron. And they've got a lot of DPS between Ryze and Ophelia for 7 Crescendo. Velia has got Hound's Pursuit, can get in here. Bounce looking for a potential angle. This can get a bit dicey. Velia over the wall, can look to try and steal this. Watch that. Nefiri, steadfast presence denies him in. Really good from closer. Really good from closer. What about the fight afterwards? Crownie tried to dash away. Reckless eats the flash out. Mihile doing a lot of work all out. Still good damage back from Crownie with the 3 items. Last Weeper's getting work. All out, he's gone. Nemesis chunking as well. Should be able to bring down the Cassante. Big shot down towards that one. Hound's Pursuit now coming on forwards onto closer, who's in a 1v1. I don't think he wins. That might be an additional pickup here as well. Baron secured nonetheless by Misa. Flash away. Crownie was being offered a donation there, doesn't quite get it. Mega Blast Cone should get him out to safety, potentially. Looking for the double tap, Vigilance not there. Passive comes on through, and actually Closer survives. It's only 1 kill in trade for the Baron. Big pickup for Misa. GG, kind of feeling that way, not gonna lie. What do I need to check? Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. I can do that afterwards. It's not a problem. Wait on that. GG. It's feeling a bit tricky. I agreed. I agree. Team to blow her up. Yeah, that's fine. You got caught out by the phrase blow her being in there, Steph. Okay. So. Decent enough wave clear. Crownie still doesn't have summoners, and that's making things really tricky. Do I even want to see the end of this? We'll see. Tight, gold-wise, but I think LR are really struggling into this team comp now. That's the Death Cap done. That's the Lord Dominic's Regards done. I think the Poppy's been more valuable than I think LR were expecting. Cass comes on forwards. That's on to closer. That's not bad. We'll go on forwards. May well die, but oh my days. Wild growth. And unending despair. And he gets the empowered reset and an emote spam on the way out. Damn. Yeah, well, look. Poppy is full build at level 3 with red buff. Never mind with Sundered Sky. She's a ridiculous champion. And closer is one of the better players on. Like we've been joking, myself and Alex have been joking about Poppy full build for a long, long time. Yeah, Mihile has done some serious, scary stuff on Cassante. But actually, the fact that the last time we saw him in solo queue on this was 6 months ago, with a 16.67% win rate on Cassante in solo queue. He wins 1 in... What's that, like 1 in 20 games or so? It's ridiculous. And he's popping off like this. That's ridiculous. Solo queue ain't stage, guys. ain't officials. Thank you for the follow, Lasuna. I appreciate you. Out come the Chakrams, looking for a moonshot, won't quite land it. Oh, nearly the 4th item for Felix. I think he's going Noon Quiver. No, Mortal Shield Bow last as well for even more burst protection. When you've got the Lulu behind you as well. I think killing this Aphelios is going to be a problem. I think LR are running into a damage issue. They're fine if they can have the Neferi collapse on individual targets. But I think if it's a straight 5v5, killing the Aphelios through the Lulu, through the front line, and then also having to manage with the Rise, who's also got his Zhonya's now. I think Lost Ratones are losing this. I think it's a really tricky game state. Soul Point for Lost Ratones, maybe that's your way in. But I don't know whether... Does Chem Soul save you this game? I mean, with the way that Cassiopeia can potentially play around those low health bars, the way that Neferi can, decent healing in there, you know, not awful. Maybe that's enough to get you back in. We'll get into the river. All right. Last dance here for Lost Ratones. See whether they can get the right shoes on for it. Bowser's looking forward. Only really lands on Dimihile. Sante takes next to no damage at all. Oh, no, Crowny. Oh, Crowny. Oh, Crowny. He double lifted it. He just face-checked a solo lane who said absolutely not. Call me now on a flank angle looking for the Rune Prison. Looks to get on top of Nemesis, who's hit by another set of Untofo strikes. What a disaster. Just content, guys. Velia gonna try and pick up Call Me. That's not bad. You get something. But it's not saving the game. Baust and Velia need to hold the line. Can he clear the wave? That's what Velia's doing behind them all here. Does have that potential to get some value. Reckless now up, trying to get some healing on the Baust, who's immediately blasted because he's gone full AP. Wave is largely dead, though, and Velia is managing to tag it and pull it away. That's not bad. Triage from Lost Ratones. They're bleeding out, but not dead. Gonna turn back to Dragon. Can't end the game. You take that as Velia. That's pretty good going. It's desperation stations, but importantly, the game goes on. Can maybe look for Baron afterwards as well. So Lost Ratones want to contest this. 10 seconds on Call Me. 20 on Baus. Both with TP. Resets, I think, possibly advised. Closer sticking around to ensure there is nothing happening. Wards are decent for Lost Ratones to spot out what's happening. Oh boy. Alright. 35 minutes in. Getting a bit dicey, to say the least. The gold lead's not that monumental. But when you start looking at map state, when you start looking at things like, well, Aphelios is now 4 items. Cassante is ungodly strong. Like, you get more nervous just compositionally here as Velia steps on forward and immediately is in danger. Another Untofo strikes Crowny! Not again! Again, Mihile just says absolutely not. 3 strikes and you're out. How has that happened again? Heavy is the head that wears the Crowny. And unfortunately, Crowny's head has come off. That is a tilter. That is Baron. And that might just be the game. That's poor. I mean, there's no other way around it. Oh, that's poor. Look, it was a difficult game state, but giving up freebies like that just cannot be allowed. Bailey better had to work for it. Just want a match with no keyboard. That's a statement. Misa certainly needed it. The Nexus Stars fall. And TCL's first seed will prove themselves some rat poison to Lost Ratones. The back-to-back EMEA Masters champions humbled here. Looking down the barrel of another best of 3 tomorrow. Well. And FM Wookie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you guys.